the edges of your crinoline, it frays extremely easily. It's almost like tights. If I was to pull it, say for example here, it's just going to warp the actual fabric, and it's very hard to get it right back into the exact place that it was. So the first thing to do is secure the end where you're going to start. So you're just going to thread your needle, double thread it with a knot to the end. I'm using a white thread today just so that you can see the stitching as it goes through, but use the colour to match your crinoline that you're working with. So we're just going to bring our thread straight through it, and then we're going to wrap our thread the entire way around if it doesn't pop out. And then you're just going to bring your thread around, and you're just tightening it in at the base. And then you're going to bring your needle and thread through again. It's just to do a secure stitch, just so that you're securing it in place, so that it can't fray from the ends. And if you want to wrap it around a few more times and secure it, then do so. So then we're going to be building it onto a small base, something like this. Now we're actually going to create a really big headpiece, but I just wanted to show you how it can start from something so small. So we're going to start by working on one of the bases. Now this is already on a comb. You could leave it on a comb if you want to, or you could take it off at a later date and maybe put it onto a hairband if you feel your piece is very big. It might pull against the comb, so you might be better to have a hairband on it. So you're going to look to your piece, and you'll see on the swirl of them that there's an edging that goes in where it's been finished. That's going to be your back point. Even if you hold the piece afterwards, you'll be able to see where it actually punctures in, and that's going to be your back point to where your piece is. So you'll decide how you want your piece to sit. So you're going to have it at an angle here to the side, and this is going to be sitting to the back. So that's almost like your back seam of where to start off. So then you're going to get your crinoline, and you'll see you have an edging along here. Now you could actually take this out if you wanted to, but there's no need to because it'll be all covered. And you're going to bring your crinoline and start your point to the centre back here and stitch it into place. The best thing to do is just take your time with this. Make sure you have a really sharp needle, because if your needle's any bit blunted, it will damage the crinoline. So we're just going to bring our needle and thread through and just secure the piece in. So you can see now it's just attached onto your base. And from here, all your centrepiece is going to be covered afterwards. So it doesn't necessarily matter what your stitching looks like onto the centre, because something will be sitting here, and this will be the piece that sits to your head, so it doesn't matter what your stitching is like underneath. So all you're going to do is you're going to pleat the piece the entire way around. So you're just going to bring your first pleat over, hold it into place, and bring your needle and thread up and through. Right back down through it and catch it there, and then you're going to repeat the process. Give another pleat, keep it to your edge. If you keep it 1 centimetre around to the edge, no further in and no further out. If you're pleating it around and you're going around at your centimetre and all of a sudden you get to here and you start pulling it in, it's going to warp the shape of the piece and it won't sit circular, it'll start pulling inwards. So you're going to bring your thread through again and bring it up. So you're going to repeat that process the entire way around. You're going to keep on going, and I have one that I've been pleating. So you can see you just keep on repeating the process and pleating it around the entire way. You can see the gathered stitch coming the entire way around, and you're just going to keep on swirling it. So you're creating a shape where it's going to sit onto the side. Now where you originated, this piece can be flipped either way to create more drama or to create less drama. By flipping it upwards, your piece is going to sit higher, and by flipping it downwards, it's going to come over your face. So I'm just going to repeat the process on this one just to show you then where it can go. Now you can see, like for example, this one was left in the basket, and the crinoline is so delicate that the needle's gone through it. Just to be careful not to pull it, because you'd ruin your crinoline, and if that happens and you fray it, your whole piece is ruined. Like, now you can, and sometimes you can see this one now has a little fray in it, because that's why I'm using that one. You can manipulate the shape of it back in again. Just be being gentle with it. It's not something that you're going to see majorly. So if you're working with it, the best thing to do is just sit down, take your time with it, and don't rush it. So we're just going to pleat it, as I was doing with the other one. If you want to double stitch it, that would be the best thing to do to secure it. So you're going to bring it down once, and then bring it up a second time, and down again. And you're going to keep doing this the entire way around. Don't be afraid of your crinoline. You can bring it in. Here isn't going to fray. It's from here is where the problem is going to be. So when you're bringing it, if you're finding it difficult to stitch it and you can't manoeuvre it, you can grab your crinoline in like this and work it from there, just as long as you're not pulling on any little bit. And you carry on pleating it. Now you could keep on going with this. You could keep on swirling. You could have a much longer length, and you could bring it around a second layer, and even you could go into a third layer. And what's going to happen is this is going to keep circling into the centre. So it's just going to get more and more dramatic.
And shorter at the top layer.
and shorter because you're moving inwards. Now you could do both ways. You could keep it the same length and put it right over where you were stitching all along, which means you're just going to have a build-up of layers. Or you could bring it in another centimetre and then you could go in another centimetre right into the centre. So it's just going to start swirling in. Now I'm just getting to the last pleat. So I'll just show you then how to finish your edge. So what you're going to do is you're going to have your last pleat and catch it by your thumb and hold it in place, and then at this point you're going to gather in the rest of your crinoline. Now it might take a few attempts to get it. You can see I've gathered this in, but it's facing outwards. The other one is facing inwards, so we want it to match that. So you're just going to take that last bit and turn it in as well, so that they are all going the same way. Because then afterwards, if you want them to turn out, you can flip them both out at the same time, but at least one won't be out and one won't be in. They'll be working against each other otherwise. So you can see now your entire piece is swirled the entire way around and there's no raw edges, and then you can, this will centre back to your back point if you wanted to, or you can bring it round to the front. It's entirely up to yourself at this point. So you can see you can sit it quite dramatic to the back, but also if you were to have maybe it to the side and flip your back and bring, so you're flipping one outwards, flipping one inwards, and then centering it like this, you're going to create more height the entire way around.